When we say kites in geometry class, we mean something different than the thing that you fly in the air. In geometry class, a kite is a quadrilateral with only two pairs of adjacent congruent sides. So in this example, Ki and Ti are congruent, Ke and Te are congruent. So some properties of kites. There are no parallel sides of a kite. The line of symmetry bisects opposite angles. So line of symmetry, if we connect I to E, we would know that those two angles would be bisected, the blue and the red. The other angles, in this case angle T and angle K, those angles are congruent. And we could prove that using side, side, side. Also, the short diagonal, in this case that diagonal, is bisected. And finally, the diagonals are perpendicular. So here's an example. Angle REA is 4x minus 22. Solve for x. Well, REA refers to that angle, and that angle is made up of the diagonals. The diagonals are perpendicular, so therefore angle REA must equal 90, and x is 28. This next example, let's say that GR is equal to 5, and the perimeter is 26. Find the length RA, AC, and GC. Well, if we know that GR is 5, one of the adjacent sides must also be 5. So there's RA. Now to find AC and GC, we know that those two segments are congruent. And so if we set up 5 plus 2 unknowns, we could rewrite that as 5 plus x, which means x must be 8. And so AC is equal to 8, and GC is also equal to 8. Here we have another kite, and we learned that AO is 6. We want to find the length of NO and NC. Now AO is a diagonal, and that diagonal is bisected. So if AN is 3, I know that NO is also equal to 3. Then if you look at triangle NCO, that is a right triangle. And so to find the length of NC, we'll solve using the Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared plus x squared equals 3 square roots of 5 squared. Now, a common mistake here is when you square 3 root 5, you have to square both the 3 and the square root of 5. So 3 squared is 9. The square root of 5 squared, square root and square are inverse operations, so we're just left with 9 times 5, or 45. Subtract 9, and you get that x squared is 36, so therefore x must be 6. And so NC is 6 units long. In this final example, here we have a kite, and our job is to solve for x and then find angle T. Well, we're given 3 angles here, and we know that 2 of the angles must be congruent. The angles that are made up of the non-congruent sides, so angle I and angle E, those are congruent. So if we set them equal, we get x is 37. And then to find angle T, all we should do is sub in that value of x. I see angle I is equal to 125. E is equal to 125. K is also equal to 125. Because a kite is a quadrilateral, all the angles together must add up to 360, and so therefore angle T is 45 degrees.